Hi, it's the Great Vanzini. I am back again, and wow, am I bright. Bright like in light bright. I've got something turned up too high. Anyway, today we're looking at the Dano Reel Echo. That's reel, R-E-E-L, like an old tape reel. And it's an Echo, and it's not bad. It's built in a really super heavy-duty housing. Feels like metal with a heavy seafoam green enamel paint on it. It's one I got off eBay years ago. A fella had a guitar shop in Texas, as I recall, and had retired, I think, and he had a lot of new old stock in his basement, and he decided to make room. And so he had a ton of Dan Electro stuff on sale, and I bought this and wish I'd have bought a number of other things. This was about $70. Yeah. If you're in a studio and you're playing with friends, I think it's going to be okay. I don't know. It feels pretty heavy duty. I don't know if you could use it out playing live all the time without risking. The way it's set up with the slanted front, I'll show another picture here. It, you know, you're not going to step on the controls real easily unless you really work at it, because the controls are all in a recessed housing kind of area. And then the two buttons you use, really only one you'd use normally, are on the slanted front, which is going to keep you away from that recessed area up top. So I'm just going to go through the buttons left to right, top to bottom, and I'll jump around some. The button on the left top is the mix, and that's just how much of the mix we have. We can turn it all the way off. Just my dry guitar. Turn it up about 9 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 9 o'clock. And of course at about 5 o'clock it's all the mix and not my guitar. You can, it's just the repeats. So you can kind of figure out what repeats you want by doing that, by turning it all the way up and listening to the repeats and determining if they're the correct ones or not. In the center right there is a lo-fi, and I'm going to keep it on all repeats, none of my guitar in there. Lo-fi turned all the way to the left. Gives a whole different. Turned all the way to the right. Whoop, I forgot to turn it back on. It gives it a warmer sound. And all the way to the left gives it just a very much more brittle sound with more repeats. And I don't get that because that shouldn't affect the repeats. I wonder, I'm not sure. I keep it in the middle because that's where it sounds best, right in the middle. It's still got a little bit of warmth and good tone quality, and it's not quite so brittle. All the way to the right, it's a very muted, even if you turn those repeats, it's got a muffled sort of sound to it. So that's it. And then over on the left is the number of repeats. Oh, I know what. I didn't have that in the mix. Let's turn that over. Yeah. The number of repeats, let's see if I can do this. Well, I'll put it back all the way over to repeats only. It goes from like 7 o'clock to 5 o'clock, and at 7 o'clock, one quick repeat. If I add a little mix in, okay, and at about 9 o'clock, kind of 2 repeats. At noon, still kind of 2 repeats, but it's almost like it's got reverb added. Let's just count those. Oh, that just shows 1. I don't think so. So what we're hearing there is my guitar and 1 repeat with some reverb. At 9 o'clock, it's really going. We'll slow them down so we can hear the repeats. Here we go. At 9 o'clock. Back to 12. 2, 4, 5. And all the way at 5 o'clock. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. It just kind of keeps on going. So that works. Then let's go down to the middle. It says solid state and tube. And I'm going to it's really a tonal difference. They try to make it a tube sound by adding a little maybe mid-range and a pinch of bass. It's just a slightly warmer sound. I'm not sure my camera with my little Rode microphone can even pick that up. It's solid state and tube. We'll add it into the mix, see how it sounds in the mix. Solid state. You can hear the repeats are very close to what I'm hitting, or the sound, same tone on both of them. It changes things a little bit. Sometimes I think I really like the tube, and the other times I want the solid state. It's not that much more trebly under solid state. You would think it would be, but it's not. Let's move on to the next toggle switch, which is Warble. In the old days, those old Echoplexes we had way back in the day, the tapes would wear out. Well, any tape machine that ran tapes, and the heads would get dirty and everything like that, and it would cause the tapes to have this warble sound. So this is an on-off proposition. There's no control over it. And you hear, I'm just going to do the repeats again. It's got almost a chorus-like sound. And if we add a lot of repeats, it really gives it a chorusy sort of sound. It's not one I'm particularly fond of because it does just that one thing. It puts in that shimmer at that speed and only that speed. In the mix, if you turn the mix down, speed up. If you're doing rockabilly, it'd be okay. Man, that sounds wonderful actually with the warble on. Just a pinch of that chorus flavor in there. I usually leave it off. It's great. Anyway, that's pretty much all there is. I guess I forgot the sound on sound. If we take the repeats and turn it all the way up to 5 o'clock, and we maybe slow it down, it almost keeps going on and on and on. So let's try that, and then I'll hit the sound on sound. The sound on sound allows me to play over all those repeats. It is, in fact, basically a 1.5 second looper. 1.5 seconds. You got to remember, back when this came out, there wasn't much. There were loopers around that did like 13 seconds of looping time, you know, and stuff like that. So it wasn't very good. So we'll hit a note, and then we'll turn the sound on sound on. Watch this. After it fades out, it just becomes a thump sound. or I can speed it up. There's not much chord sound left in that, it's just a thump. But, you know, it's something to play with. I never would use the sound, I can't imagine with a 1 point, kind of thinking of it as a 1.5 second looper that fades over time. So, you know, it doesn't stay. We'll just do that. Very clear chordy sound. Now it's already going to a mid-tony. Now it's sounding almost like two different, boop, 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 like a warble. Let's turn that off. Let's try it with the warble on. Just kind of fades out. With the lo-fi turned down, it makes it much more crisp, and no, it still fades. Well, that's not real useful that I can tell. So it's interesting. I don't know. I can't imagine what I would use that for, the sound on sound, because the sort of that idea that it's a looper is it's a looper for a few seconds before it all fades. But for my uses, it's going to be in the mix. It's going to be down to a fairly short with the warble off. I want a little more repeat than that. Now we'll put it in the mix. You have to be really careful with the slider bar. When you move it, you really just tiny move it one little 32nd of an inch to the right to speed it up. Anyway, that is the Dano Electro Real Echo. Appreciate you watching. If you'd like, you can subscribe, hit the bell icon, give me a thumbs up, give me a thumbs down, all that stuff. Leave a comment. If you're using Echo, let me know what type of Echo you use. And also, I did the fish and chips last time. If you use an EQ pedal of any sort for anything, talk to me about that. I keep thinking I'm going to buy a higher end EQ pedal just to see, a used one, just to see if it works, because I see they go, you can buy some fairly inexpensively, and you can get the Bosch used at a reasonable price, but I mean some of them go up to $250 or more dollars. This one was, I don't remember if this was the $7.95 one or if this was the $14.95 one, but I've got two of these and they work, and that's all that really matters. But let me know what you use, and let me know what you use on an Echo too. So until I see you again, good day and good luck, and stay safe out there, and we'll take you out with something a little different.